Hello guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to the third series of generating a full stack web application using ChatGPT. In this series we will be generating a Spring Boot REST web service by using ChatGPT. We will try not to write any code and try to generate as much code as I can through this OpenAI ChatGPT. So let's start. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is go to chat.openai.com. I'm already signed up with OpenAI. If you haven't signed up, it's a very easy process. You can sign up with your Google account or your email address. Once you are signed up, it's free of cost. If you want to get a more premium service, there is a upgrade to plus option where you pay basically $20 per month to get more speed and priority access. So I'm okay with the free plan. So here I'll write create a Spring Boot web application with employee as a model class. Also also use fields as ID, employee ID, name, hours, date, activity. Make sure to use Spring Data JPA and use mysql as database. So what I'm doing here is asking ChatGPT to create a Spring Boot web application with employee as a base class, model class, and ID, employee ID, name, hours, date as the fields. And I asked Spring Boot to use Spring Data GPA, which is one of the libraries of Spring, which helps us to easily perform CRUD application, and also asked OpenAI to use mysql as a database. So once I hit enter, it will start generating all the required classes. So first thing that it did was it created 3 packages that need to be added in our pom.xml to our starter template. And the second thing is the employee model class. It with all the required fields that we mentioned below earlier, the getter and setters, and we have the employee repository which extends the JPA repository. So it will give us the basic CRUD create, read, update, delete access to database. And we have the employee service that has get all employees, that gives all the employees, employee ID, employee by ID, save the employee, delete employee. And we have the controller class, which is the REST endpoint that we can utilize to generate the required response. So what I will do next is open my STS and start copying all these things. Alright, so I have opened my STS here, and I will go ahead and do file, new Spring Starter project. I will do timesheet, backend. I will use Maven and com.timesheet and employee timesheet management app com.timesheet. Next, so if we go to ChatGPT, it asks us to add Spring Starter Web, JPA, and MySQL connector. So I'll do that. Web, Spring Web, JPA, and MySQL driver. So finish it. Once you hit finish, it will start downloading all the jar files and all the dependencies and create a Maven project for us. If you don't know Maven is kind of like a build tool that we can utilize to run, build, clean. All right, so it looks like it successfully created our project. So if you go to source main Java, and we can see a Spring application, we can give it a try if you want to run this Spring Boot app, and it might fail because we do not have the database connection parameters here. So if you go to POM, mysql connector is also here already. We have Spring Starter Web, Spring Starter Data JPA, so we are all good to go. So the second thing ChatGPT tell us is to create an employee class with all these fields. So I'll go to copy code and create a new class called employee, but I will put it in the employee package. Com Timesheet employee, name of class is employee. All right, so now I basically will copy this code and put it right here. So you have to get the import. If you can press Ctrl Shift O, persistence. All right, so it says constructor getter setters. So just right click, sources, generate getter setters. It will generate all the getter setters, sources, constructor using fields. Okay, sources, toString method. If you would like to, you can do that as well. So our employee class is completed. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. So since I copied, I just want to have the correct package name here. Com timesheet dot employee. Yep. So we have successfully generated our employee class with all the getters and setters, and constructor and toString. And we have kept at id at generated value, generation type equals to identity, because this id will be auto generated. Beside that, everything looks good to me. All right, so let's move on to the second part, where it says create a repository interface for employee using Spring Data JPA. So we have to create a repository. So let me do new package. So I'll just write repository. Okay, so in this package, create a new class, copy, and the name of the class, keep it same for consistency. And what I can do is copy this. All right, so import this. So we are good with this one as well. Import. All right, so the third thing is create a service class to perform the CRUD operation. So create new class, write service in the package name, keep the name of the class same, and what else we have to do? Create it and copy everything. copy everything, and you can paste it after this. All right, Control Shift O. What is this? Unnecessary auto word. Okay, that's fine. So we are good with the service as well. And next is to create a REST controller, which consists of all the endpoints that we want to access. So I will create a new class, controller, and name is employee controller. And we'll again copy everything, put it there. Control Shift O to get all the imports. All right. That's fine. So we created the controller also. So finally configure the database connection. So how to configure database connection using application properties file. So I'm just asking ChatGPT to how to configure the database connection. So I'll just copy this code. All right, copy the code, and application.properties, source main resources, application.properties. So we have to replace this with our database name and username, password. So let's do I do have a database that is running in Amazon AWS EC2 region. Probably I might be able to use that, so I'll try that. Let me try to use the localhost mysql. That's the password. That's not the right password. Okay, so I do have a local instance of mysql that's running, so I will probably do that. So the database name I will put as employee database. Username is, I have to see what was the username. Let me check the username. MySQL root. User is root. Okay, so user is root, and passcode for my local is capital V. All right, let's see if it works. So I think we have everything what we need. So let's go ahead and start the application and hope it will start well without any problem. Okay, starting. Oh no, so we have some kind of error here. Failed to initialize JB, unable to create requested service. Due unable to with database metadata, please set hammer dialect. All right, so I'm currently stuck with this error which says failed to initialize a database. It says unknown database, employee database. So it looks like in our local instance of MySQL we don't have that database. So what we have to do is create database, and what was the name of the database? So if we go to application.properties, employee underscore database, employee underscore database. So if I run this query, so it says create database, employee database successful. So in my local instance of MySQL, database is created successfully. So let's try to rerun this application now. Okay, so as you can see here, it says Hibernate create table employees. So it successfully created a table name employee, and our application is up and running in port 8080. So we can go in my MySQL and to select all from employee database employee. If we run that, yeah, we can see the table ID, activity, date, employee ID, hours, name. So if I do insert into where, let's not do that. So so we want to run a command through Postman. We will use something like a Postman. So Postman is one of the tools that I mostly use to send different kind of requests, like post, delete request. So if I want to send a post request to this employee ID, name, date, hours, activity. So let's see. So here, if we go to our controller class, so response get all employees, create employee, and slash employees, post mapping. Okay, so if you do a post on slash employees, it will create that employee here. So let's try to do that. So I will do localhost 8080 employee, and just go to the have body and use raw and try to send this data, which is employee ID, name, date, hours, activity. So if we go to our employee.java, employee ID, name, hours, date, activity, right? Those are the 5 things, and ID will be generated automatically, so we don't need to pass that. So if I do that and send a post request, all right, let's do like this so that we can see our logs here. So send, all right, so what it says, 404 not found employee. So what is wrong here? Controllers, oh, so my bad, so it's employees, not employee. So I'll do employees, send. Okay, so looks like Hibernate insert into employees, so it successfully inserted into the table. So I will do couple more. Looks like I sent the ID also. So if I go to post and 101, oh no, that was the response. Okay, so don't get confused, this was the response I got, which is 201 created. All right, and I will do 102 employee name, Prabhas, hours, let me do like 9 hours, and good Spring Boot app. So if I hit send, it says insert into employee, and we can see the response code is 201 created, 18 seconds. So as we can see, like these two employee are created. So if we want to see those employee, we have this get mapping, which calls our employees endpoint. So if we can go to our browser and localhost 8080 employees. Let's see what's wrong. So no default constructor. Okay, so it looks like we missed to create a default constructor in the employee class. So let's go to employee class, and yeah, that's right. So source generate constructor. Where is that? Generate constructor from superclass generate. Right, so once you do that, we should be good. So you can stop and start the application if you like. Okay, so if I run this code again, okay, here you can see we have ID, employee ID, hours, date, everything. So we can do the same in Postman as well. Yep, the response is pretty. So in this way we can create an app, create new employees by sending a post request, and by using a get request we can get the employee. So if we want to delete the employee, so if we go to our code, go to the controller, delete employee. So to delete the employee, we are sending ID in the path variable. So okay, so how we can delete is, it would be same, but we'll use delete and ID equals to 1. So if we want to delete this guy, then we can do ID equals to 1. Let me hit send. Not allowed. Okay, what's the issue? Delete is not supported. Why is not supported? Response entity path variable, what ID long. I think one thing you have noticed is the name is coming as null right here. If I do localhost /employees, the name is coming as null. The issue here is, like, whenever you are sending a post request and in the body you should wrote employee name, so write name. If it doesn't match the constructor that we created here, then it will not post it successfully. So if I send this request, okay, so if I go in the database and check, we should be good. Yep, so name, hours, date, activity, and ID. We were not able to delete earlier, so in order to delete, select delete. So instead of say, as we are in the controller class, we are sending /ID, right, and we are getting it as a path variable, so we have to send /ID. So ID, if I want to delete this provis from here, we just go and do /3 send hibernate delete from employee. So if we do get again, yeah, so it's successfully deleted. So in this way you can create a complete CRUD application by using ChatGPT. As you guys saw, like, I didn't even write a single line of code and was able to create this complete backend. So this will be like a skeleton of any project, and you can enhance this class or this services according to your needs. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next session.